Game of the Year nominees. Steve-O, you played any video games?
Man, I I think that video games are really, really dangerous. I you know, I do.
Hello, everybody. All right, guys. So on today's video, we're gonna be watching the Steve-O clip of him talking about gaming, gamers, calling them losers.
The results showed that video game violence does not lead to real life violence. However, it also concluded that playing video games for hours and hours definitely leads to becoming a complete loser.
Oh man, goddamn it.
I honestly think this is probably one of the worst takes that Steve-O has ever given to anybody. Who's he to be talking about games and how they're bad for you and they're bad for the youth and blah blah blah. So let me give you a little bit of a context for this clip before I start it. Steve-O was doing his podcast run to show his new special, which is like this it's like a video he did, like it's called the bucket list, and he does like some of the stunts that he couldn't do in Jackass, or they wouldn't let him do in Jackass, so he financially invested in himself to make those stunts and tricks and jokes or skits or whatever it was. And then he releases the special, and he, it's as usual, people go and do podcasts. So let's just start the video here with Danny Brown talking about video games. He's a big fan of video games, and Steve-O seemed like he's not a big fan of video games. And let's just watch this clip.
Game of the Year nominees. Steve-O, you played any video games?
Man, I think that video games are really, really dangerous. I do. I think that people sit there on their ass all day long playing a goddamn video game where their physical health just turns into absolute garbage. Like the human body becomes an actual piece of garbage when you just sit on the sofa all day every day and you're playing these video games. You accomplish literally nothing.
Of course, he sounds like a guy who never really played games. People that have that sort of take, they're like, and you see other people playing games, are like, what are you doing? You're just wasting time here. But, people can also say about your video, Steve-O, or your special you're trying to show is like it's going to be a waste of time to see your like dumb stunts and your tricks and stuff. Like, what is that going to give me as some sort of benefit for education or whatnot? This is all just entertainment, as the same thing as your special. It's all entertainment. Then of course there's people that play video games all the time, which yes, it could be bad.
I mean, like, and then you've got like a whole, it's almost another level of shit where like, and then people are just sitting there for hours and hours all day long watching other play video games on YouTube. I don't get it, man. I don't get any of it. And there's also the speculation that video games inspire violence. That like violent. They really said that they think that all these shoot 'em up video games.
Doesn't Steve-O think that somebody's mom, somebody's dad can look at Jackass and say that could influence you to do some crazy stunts? Because I remember back in the days, me and my friends were like, let's do some Jackass shit, right? Let's jump out, off the roof. Let's do some WWE stuff. Let's put me through a table, a cardboard table. That in of itself is another example of what you did influence people. And sure, there's like this freaking myth that, oh yeah, video games causes violence. Yeah, maybe to some freaking mental kid who, later does a or whatnot. But, if you think about it, everybody in the world plays games, right? And not every country has the same level of violence in their country just because they have a video game. Let's compare it to Jackass, which some people will try to do because they're idiots.
Games are making people into like school shooters or murderers or whatever. And they did a a scientific study. I watched a documentary about this on an airplane. Scientific study. The results showed that video game violence does not lead to real life violence.
Mm-hmm.
However, it also concluded that playing video games for hours and hours definitely leads to becoming a complete loser.
Oh man, goddamn it.
Okay, so this whole thing was a shitty joke, and I mean, it was a long joke, a long joke, and it didn't pay off in the end because a lot of people on Reddit, a lot of people even on the comment section are like, "Okay, Steve-O, like chill out, bro. You like staple your nuts together between your legs and now you're like trying to judge people for what they do in their day off. You know, calling people losers is just also him projecting on his own thing. The vast majority are playing video games. Video games have now become more popular than watching movies. So maybe this is just him worrying about people not watching his special, but this sort of take will make you watch it less. So it's not good promotion.
An absolute fucking waste. And I just feel like, I mean, I know that I know video games are popular, and I know I'm not making a lot of fans for
Yeah,
saying
they gonna call
that.
you a boomer. They definitely calling
Yeah.
you a boomer right now.
I know that I'm doing myself a disservice by making people mad at me for having this opinion. I get it. Like, I don't mean, I'm just kind of trying to be light and fun and lighthearted, but like really, like I genuinely just wish that, you know, that people would live their lives the way they want to have had lived their lives when they're on their deathbed. You know, like, and I also have concern that America's standing in the world as a nation is not being helped by video games. You know, like,
That's so funny. And he thinks that doing stunts and stuff or doing justice or helping the world out or what? What's this? What's this weird thing, man? Isn't it weird? Like he thinks he's better than gamers?
I'm Steve-O, and this is the Poo Cocktail Supreme.
He thinks walking through coals or freaking getting launched through, you know, within a porta potty while getting all the shit in your mouth is better for the world. He's doing a great service. Nah, well, I don't know. I'm just kind of like yanking his chain now, but yeah, that was a pretty bad take, pretty shitty joke if it was one. But yeah, I'll end this here, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this. Did you guys think that Steve-O is was acting up here? Like you know, a lot of people in the comments are saying, "Man, Steve-O's on one in this podcast run."
I know video games are popular, and I know I'm not making a lot of fans for
Yeah,
saying
they gonna call
that.
you a boomer. They definitely calling
Yeah.
you a boomer right now.
So like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys next time for another one. Bye bye.